Dookie got the sauce, bitch.
Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Oasia if you're new here, and if you're not new here, thank you for coming back to watch another one of my videos. Today, I will be talking about my FIT experience. I'm doing this because I remember being in high school, interested in coming to FIT, and I wanted to see or hear what students had to say about the school, and I wanted an honest opinion. I'm here to give that and give my experience and my input on the school. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so let's start out with my major. My major is Fashion Business Management, abbreviated to FBM. And basically, I chose this major because it's so wide range. The classes range from fashion business practices, intro to the fashion industry, Excel, advertising and promotion, styling, fashion marketing, product development, and so on and so on. You can study a little bit of everything to figure out what exactly you want to do, because you don't necessarily have to come out as a buyer with the fashion business management major. When I came into the school, I thought I would end up as a buyer, but from taking all the retail math classes that you have to take, math is not for me. I don't vibe with numbers, never really have. I feel like once you get the pattern, it's not so bad, but if you don't have that pattern, you're gonna be struggling as a buyer. So honestly, I don't know which direction I'm leaning towards just yet, but I have 2 more years to figure that out because I'm a sophomore. Also, what I do like about FIT, one of the key things, they provide you with a countless amount of internships and job opportunities, which is very important because if you're coming out of college, you want to have some internships or jobs in your resume that could show that you're not just learning about it, but you're getting the experience in the field. And FIT makes it so that you have no excuse to not have that experience. My favorite class so far, I really liked Intro to Fashion Industry because it just gave a history and review of what goes on in the fashion industry and what's important to know about it, what you will encounter in the fashion industry, and just certain terms that you need to know when someone's talking to you about it. And I liked fashion business practices. My professor taught it so thoroughly and well, and I feel like that makes a difference. That's a thing where Rate My Professor comes in. When you're picking classes, I suggest you do Rate My Professor for each professor that you decide to choose, because even though it's not always accurate, it is a review of what students have to say about that professor versus like just trusting that the professor is well equipped or respectful enough for you to put up with. Because some professors can be very disrespectful here and ignorant, which I'm not afraid to say, very ignorant, and they choose to not learn because ignorance is bliss. They feel like they know everything because they're so experienced. But times are changing. Some professors refuse to learn from students, and I think that's important in this generation, to learn from students, because no one knows everything. We're all here to learn. And some professors here really think they're too good to, sadly. But Rate My Professor has saved my life. I've gotten beautiful professors that knew what they were talking about and very experienced. That's another pro about FIT. In order to be a professor here, they require a lot of experience. I'm not sure how many years, but it was like above 5 years of experience. So when professors come back to teach here, they are well knowledgeable about the industry and what they went through. And I think that if you have a good professor, it's not even about what you read in the textbook, which is still important, but it's about what they have to offer and what they can inform you about from experience, which I think is even more important in a way, because nothing goes by book, especially in the fashion industry. It's important to know the terms and stuff, but it's more about experience and networking. And some professors might even be able to connect you to people that they've worked with in the past if you get on the good side, and help you jumpstart your own career. Do your work, show that you're really passionate, because if they really like you, they could refer you to someone and it could really make a break in your career. What I wish I would have known going into my freshman year is that you don't always have to buy the book. I'm telling you, especially at FIT, you don't have to buy the book unless it's like through some online site. Like sometimes there'll be like certain sites where it's like little quizzes attached to the online book or stuff like that, little tedious stuff. But if it's nothing like that, if they're not checking to see if you have the book, you don't have to buy it, because we have a very resourceful library that has every book for every class that you need. And if you're kind of broke like me, you could just take pictures of every page, not every page, because they usually assign certain pages to read. It's rare that a professor expects you to read the whole textbook, but if it is every page, do what you gotta do. Because I took a picture of every page of a book on my phone and just read from my phone for free. I don't think a lot of incoming freshmen understand these prices are insane for a textbook. Check to see if your library has it first. And also, if you become friends with some upperclassmen, they may have the book from the previous year and you can like get it for a cheaper price if you want to have the physical book. Those are alternatives, which I highly recommend. Let me talk about how long the classes are here. The classes range from 3 hours to 6 hours long. A typical class is 3 hours long. You might get lucky and you could use Rate My Professor to figure out which professor lets you out early, because some professors don't believe in keeping kids in a class for 3 hours and expect them to absorb all the information. Some professors. So I've managed to get a good amount of professors that let me out an hour and a half early. Also, with the 3 hour classes, it's mandatory for professors to give a 20-minute break in between those 3 hour classes, but some professors prefer to just let the students out early, like 20 minutes early, than keeping them the whole 3 hours, which you will prefer. I don't like 20-minute breaks in between because you're still sitting in the class. You're still not where you want to be, which is in your room. You're just sitting here waiting for the class to start back up. Use Rate My Professor and you can find a professor that will let you out early. Because 3 hours, no one could process information and maintain information and continue to absorb information for 3 hours straight. Or some people can, but the average student can't, because you have 6 other classes to be studying for, learning about, etc., etc. I'm gonna talk about the dining hall now. The dining hall is not bad. It's not the best for people that are vegan, vegetarian, or anything else like that. It can be restricting because like you feel like you can't really eat anything. It's not really considerate of that. I feel like they should improve on that, like offering more options than just like so much meat. But it's not bad. My favorite spot at FIT is the breezeway because it's just this like open part of the school. The sun shines bright in the breezeway, and I like to just eat my food there and sometimes just reflect and appreciate the beautiful things that has come to me in life and soak up that vitamin D and just relax. Also, you should really try to get involved in clubs and learn about what opportunities can come from being involved in clubs. BSU has a fashion show that focuses on the Black students' designs, because I'm not gonna lie, FIT, that's not really enforced here. We talk about diversity a lot, but nothing's really done to really be inclusive of the Black students or people of color here. So BSU has a fashion show with people of color's designs. You could be a model there too. You could do a lot in these clubs, and if you make the most of it, you could really walk out of the school with a job, a lot of experience under your belt, and just a lot of connections. So if you have to dorm here or decide to dorm here, be involved on your floor. Don't just come to your room, do your homework, eat, sleep, and do whatever you gotta do here. Actually get to know the people on your floor, because if you're in a major, you don't really have that many classes. There's mixes of other majors like fashion design. I haven't had a class with a student that is fashion design or art, or you never know. So on your floor, it's a mix of everybody pursuing different things. So come to your RA's events. I'm saying this as an RA. Get to know people that go to the school and really build from it. It can really make a difference in your dorming experience here. I'm gonna end with my most important advice for incoming freshmen. To be open-minded to meeting different people, because some high schools are really in its own bubble. When you come to college, there's a bunch of different types of people that come from all around the world. So be open-minded to meeting people that are not from your city or not from your country or not from your region, and get to know them, see what they have to offer, see why they're here, see what they're pursuing. It's interesting. Stay on top of your work, because the difference between college and high school is that you chose to be here. High school, everybody really has to do high school, but you paid to be here. So make the most of it, do your work, learn. You can attend a class physically, but not be in it mentally. And I think that's really important, because if you're just sitting in class, you're getting that mark of attendance. But when it comes to the test in real life, you weren't there. You didn't learn about it. And then you're sitting there lost. Lastly, have fun. It's not all about work all the time. The thing about college, you're usually away from home. Go to a party, do something spontaneous. You don't have to be home by 11 in the dorms. You're literally free to explore the city, explore wherever you're at, and just be present, be in the moment, because yeah, college is like a stepping stone to like adult life and getting a full-time job and getting your own apartment, but appreciate that you're in the middle and you're still technically under your parents, and resonate in that and appreciate it, because this is only a one-time experience and I want you to make the most of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something about the school, and I hope you learned something about college in general, not just FIT. It's a really beautiful experience and I'm definitely grateful for being where I am. I hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you for your support. Subscribe, like this video, and have a nice day or night or afternoon.